Alright, so I'm not gonna be honest. Yesterday really was kind of a rough day. And it started off so promising too. But long story short, my folks and I got into a bit of an argument. And to make matters worse, originally, because we had to do something, and, as long as we were out, we were actually going to go to Libs for dinner. And that wound up not happening at all. To be perfectly honest, I'm more sad about that than being angry with my folks. What can I tell you? That's how good Libs is. So yeah, as you can imagine, that's my low. And again, the day started off so promising too. I can tell you right now about my high, the weather was actually tolerable. I mean, yeah, it'd still be cold by a lot of people's standards. And people down south really wouldn't be able to stand it. But, 20 plus degree weather is a lot more tolerable than like 0 negative degree weather. So, yeah, I'll take that. And honestly, and again, my act of kindness was, up until the big argument happened, I was legit doing what my parents asked me. And it really wasn't the best day. Am I going to simply call this a bad day? I don't know if I'd go quite that far. I mean, in the end, the circumstances of everything that happened really are, stupid. Considering that 24 hours before, I had no idea what was going to happen. So, yeah. Honestly, my mom has a bit of a bad habit of even when we never tell her yes, she still thinks we said yes anyway. I'll leave it there. But, yeah. And I honestly don't really know how to cheer myself up. I mean, I guess I could still talk about, what I was going to talk about today. Because a thought really did, occur to me around yesterday morning, around lunchtime, I guess, so noon. And it really has to do with the Super Bowl this weekend. Or, sorry, not the Super Bowl, but who could potentially be going to the Super Bowl this weekend. Excuse me, because the AFC and the Nfc Championships are on. And I have to say, I really don't know who I want to go. There's no team I like or dislike more in these scenarios. I mean, I could, legit name players on all the teams, narratives on all the teams, some of the staff on all the teams, and they'd all make compelling cases as to why I should root for them. I mean, I can't even say I would rank any of them either. Because, again, I like all 4 teams that are, in both championships. I mean, yeah, considering I'm surrounded by the Bills Mafia, seeing the Chiefs lose would be pretty satisfying. If you really want me to break it down. But as of right now, I don't really like, I don't hate Patrick Mahomes. I don't. I mean, I will admit, he's slowly starting to become the version of Aaron Rodgers that a lot of people don't like. But I won't go so far as to say he's there yet. Although, if he really doesn't want to be like Aaron Rodgers, winning a Super Bowl really would probably do him some good. Because he definitely needs to have one more than Aaron Rodgers. And he certainly hasn't really made everything about himself so much as Aaron Rodgers has. Yeah, I'll never forget that the Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp once debated that if Aaron Rodgers was on the Patriots coached by Bill Belichick, there was an argument to say how many Super Bowls that the Patriots would win. As of now, they both agree they wouldn't have lasted 15 minutes with each other, Aaron Rodgers and Bill Belichick. So, there you go. As for Patrick Mahomes, he actually does care about his teammates. He actually does care about winning. And when you have as nice of a guy for a coach as Andy Reid, how do you not root for him, even now? I mean, yeah, Patrick Mahomes has kind of lived up to his hype, I suppose. Or is now forced to live up to his hype, I should say. So, when he doesn't do well, a lot of people are taken aback by it. But, what can I say? Things change over time. The saying goes, tough times don't last, but tough people do. And the fact that the Chiefs are in the Nfc Championship again only further proves that, they got some tough people in that organization. So there you go. Now, for the Bengals, I mean, let's be honest. This is only Joe Burrow's second year. And everyone knew that the Bengals' mentality was going to be different after they drafted Joe Burrow. But the fact that it's only his second year and they made it to the AFC Championship, he has, without question, wildly exceeded everyone's expectations. Especially when you consider the fact that the Bengals had beaten the Chiefs before, albeit they were at home, in the jungle, as the Bengals like to call it. Yeah, that's what the Bengals fans call their stadium, the jungle. Because, Bengal Tigers, makes sense. So now the Bengals got to go to Arrowhead, and they're essentially going to have happen to them what their fans did to the Chiefs when they visited. Arrowhead's going to be loud, bro. And while Joe Burrow definitely does look like he is a man full of, what's the word? Poise. He's going to have to overcome a lot if he wants to go to the Super Bowl. Which I really wouldn't mind seeing. So now we get into the NFC Championship. Now, both teams are no strangers to this scenario whatsoever. This is, the second time in 4 years that the Rams have made it here. And they could very well go to the Super Bowl again. They have a stout defense full of guys like Von Miller, Chris Floyd, Jalen Ramsey, and of course, arguably the best player in the entirety of the NFL, Aaron Rodgers. Or Aaron Donald. Sorry. There's a lot of guys named Aaron on the... There's a surprisingly large amount of guys named Aaron in the NFL. And then you have, offense. Cooper Kupp, Odell Beckham Jr. of all people. Yeah, Odell Beckham Jr. may be going to the Super Bowl. And actually, in his time with the Rams, he's won more Super Bowls with the Rams than he did with the Giants. Or playoff games, He's won more playoff games with the Rams than with the Giants or the Browns. Well, technically, the Browns did make it to one divisional playoff win, but he was injured, so I don't know if that counts necessarily. I think it counts. I'll say it counts. It totally counts. And then you have Matthew Stafford, who, was drafted by Detroit when they were the first team to ever go 0-16. And considering how much of a terrible organization Detroit is, even with Megatron at your side, he had to get out of there. And literally in his first year out of there, he's made it this far. So it really is telling me that it really was Detroit all along, not him. I mean, yeah, he has some problems, with turning over the ball and stuff. But the fact that he's made it here should tell you that he always really was as good as everyone thought he would be. I mean, he was drafted number 1 overall, so that would make sense. And then you finally have the 49ers. I mean, you have Jimmy Garoppolo, the guy who almost replaced Tom Brady. You have Deebo Samuel, who's been one of the premier guys for, the 49ers as of late. And then you have a defense like Armstead and Bosa. That defense is absolutely crazy. But if there's one thing I have noticed on all 4 teams in these playoffs, is that each team has a player, be they on offense or defense, that has a guy whom, if they're healthy and if they stand tall and fight on, that team will always have a chance to win. For the Chiefs, you could argue that there are several people, including Patrick Mahomes, like Travis Kelce and Tyrann Mathieu. For the Bengals, Joe Burrow would come to mind, obviously. For the Rams, I just mentioned Aaron Donald a minute ago. He is that guy. But for the 49ers, there is one guy who, if he's in, the 49ers have a chance. And you guys know him as the man who invented National Tight End Day himself, George Kittle. I can tell you right now, there is a reason why The Rock's so, boldly called him the people's tight end. Because you know what? It's tough to say, because I do like Travis Kelce and Darren Waller on the Raiders. But George Kittle might be my favorite tight end in the NFL. And again, if he's in, then the 49ers have a shot to go to SoFi Stadium and beat the Rams. They've literally done it twice already. So what's to say they can't do it here? This is the 49ers. They've been, an organization, that's had some of the greatest players of all time. Some of the greatest coaches of all time, like Bill Walsh. And again, players, Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, Steve Young. The 49ers have an opportunity to capitalize on that legacy. So I can't really deny him that. But as great as all those players are, it's George Kittle who I think is going to have the biggest impact in this game. Well, I would say that, but I guarantee the Rams are going to come up with some sort of plan to stop him, which would make sense. Normally, that's one way to beat your opponent in football. You go after, their best player as best you can and try and contain them. That's just how it works. Again, they got to worry about Deebo Samuel. And yeah, Jimmy Garoppolo has problems turning over the ball too. Not quite as bad as... I would say Stafford is better about not turning over the ball than Jimmy Garoppolo, to be sure. But, again, the Rams have, Cooper Kupp, who I really do like. But Cooper Kupp is no George Kittle. And I think that could make all the difference. So, do I have Super Bowl picks right now? Honestly, no. I really can't decide. So, I mean, you might as well just, seriously, you could have like 100 games between both teams for each, championship. And I guarantee you're probably going to get close to 50-50. That's how close it is. I guess if I ever did make a pick, I'd deal with my heart over my head and say, you know what? I wouldn't mind seeing the 49ers and the Bengals. You really think the Chiefs and the 49ers is the only Super Bowl rematch? No. The Bengals and the 49ers have played each other twice in the Super Bowl, with 49ers winning both times. I can see it happening again. Then there's the Rams and the Chiefs, who I just did not mention. It'd be a rematch of the greatest Monday night game ever played. There's a lot of variables to consider. All I know is that we're going to be in for a pretty special weekend on Sunday. I just realized I forgot to say Happy Hump Day until just now. I just said that. So, right now, just say like, favorite, share, hit that subscribe button, follow me on social media platforms, turn on the notification bell on YouTube. I am very humble I made this video for all of you guys that are watching Joe for today, and we have a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. Remember, you guys want to talk to channels, we'll be here to learn news right back. Take care and make good choices. See ya.